Hello everyone, Father Jared Kohn coming to you from my office here at the Petersburg Parishes to give our daily reflection from the Petersburg Parishes on Monday, March 23rd, 2020. And I thought today maybe just start off with the big news or the primary topic of conversation for a lot of people probably today, as you may have saw yesterday or maybe you found out today that Governor DeWine and Dr. Amy Acton have decided that effective at midnight tonight, there will be a stay-at-home order in effect, which still allows for essential businesses to operate and for certain things to still happen. And so it needs to be probably understood, obviously. But people have a lot of feelings about this, a lot of thoughts about this, and I've heard some people say like, well, I'm young, I don't want to listen to this, or this is silly, this is an overreaction. And I thought maybe today just to reflect on exactly what kind of obedience we owe to those in political authority over us really is asked of us by the Lord. And one place I wanted to go to start off with that is let's go to Romans 13. So it's Romans 13, verses 1 through 3. So here it is. Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those that exist have been instituted by God. Therefore, he who resists the authorities resists what God has appointed, and those who resist will incur judgment. For rulers are not a terror to good conduct, but to bad. Would you have no fear of him who is in authority? Then do what is good, and you will receive his approval. And so in that line, obviously, Paul's a big advocate for saying, like, hey, you need to obey legitimate authorities. You need to give them their due, to pay attention to what they order of you. And now, obviously, this doesn't apply to unjust laws, as, for example, Blessed Franz Jagerstatter is an example of this, a man who resisted the Nazi regime in Austria and who was ultimately now on his way to sainthood. Is obviously an example of someone who resisted an unjust law, unjust regime. And as a result, obviously that is still in place. But just laws we owe obedience to, and unless they're unjust, we owe obedience to them. And I think this law is an example of a just law, as a lot of studies that are coming out and a lot of experience from a number of other countries like Italy, which is experiencing a lot of heartache, a lot of pain, and a lot of death right now, and along with New York, which has begun to experience a great influx of those suffering from the COVID-19 virus. And so I think we really, really need to take Governor DeWine and Dr. Acton at their word and trust that they are doing the right thing. And I think they're doing the right thing to try and get ahead of that curve to limit the amount of initial infections we have, so that way our healthcare system can take care of them, because I think we have a lot of people involved in healthcare in our parishes, and we certainly don't want to overburden them. We don't want to put them at greater risk of infection. And so please, please, please follow it. Governor DeWine has been very clear that obviously if you have if your job is essential, you still can go to it. If you need to go to the store to get groceries or to get, hand soap or, toilet paper, if you can find it, obviously you're allowed to do that, right? You're allowed to fulfill that need. But, going out to visit your friends or, going out just for the heck of it, to visit with other people and be in close proximity with people, we shouldn't be doing that. We need to practice social distancing so that way we don't endanger infecting those most vulnerable, because, as a 30-year-old man, I might carry that disease, I might carry COVID-19 without even knowing it, and I could unknowingly infect others. And so it's really, really important for us to just hear out this order to, do the little things well, to be examples to those in our society of what it looks like to really practice this well. So, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer at appropriate moments, only go out whenever we need to. But then also, I think spiritually on the other side of things, this is also a great opportunity for us to evangelize culture, an opportunity for us to reach out to those in most need, to be friends to those in these times of great distance, that while we may be physically far from others, you can pick up the phone and call a neighbor. You can pick up the phone and call elderly people you may know, whether they're related to you or not, whether they're Catholic or not, and reach out to them and say, do you need anything? How are you doing? And then even offer to pray with people over the phone. Say, hey, I know this is tough for me. Is it tough for you? You want to pray together? To do those little things, to reach out to others, and to make them know that they are cared for, that they're loved. and that you want to be their friend, because ultimately opening the gates to friendship in that way, opening the gates of friendship in any way, is ultimately opening the gates of evangelization, to where somebody can trust you, and then you can begin to share with them your best friend, Jesus, hopefully. And so I think this is a great time for us to get creative, to reach out to people in different ways, and just to really, really make that happen. As you can see, Father Sean and I have been trying to do that our best. And so I just want to encourage each and every one of you sitting at home, listening to this now, to just please obey this order, so that way we can move past this, we can beat this virus together, and once again, hopefully, once we have gotten through this, that once again we can all celebrate together and in person, and perhaps celebrate in a new way with the new friendships we built, and come to a greater appreciation for one another as we go through this together. And so please take advantage of that, and please continue to try and pray throughout this. In fact, I would even, I'm trying to wrap up, but I just thought of something else that, Governor DeWine said, it's still okay to go outside. So I'm just encouraging maybe to do your own private Marian procession. Just grab your rosary and just take a walk around your neighborhood, obviously keeping appropriate social distance from others, but just praying for protection upon, wherever you live, whether you're Walpock, Botkins, Jackson Center, Cridersville, so on and so forth. Just asking for Our Lady's protection. She has turned back many enemies from her followers, and so pray for her intercession and her protection during this time as well. And especially reach out to those in the healthcare industry and those who are elderly, those who are most vulnerable, because they're going to be under a lot of stress. And so just continue to do that, and please know my prayers, know Father Sean's prayers, that we're offering Mass each day. We're praying for you each day and praying for an end to this epidemic. And so just take care. God bless each and every one of you, and know that you are held in prayer. I'm trying to think, did I forget something? Yeah? Oh, what'd I forget? You forgot to make announcements, you idiot. That's not very nice. You're not very nice. Fair enough. So, just a few housekeeping items. Aren't you going to go away? I need to make sure you're going to do this right. Okay. So, just as the first announcement, the Day of Grace that was scheduled for tomorrow, Tuesday, March 24th, has been canceled to comply with this stay-at-home order. And then also the one on April 1st, since that's still within the 2-week period that Governor DeWine has decreed, is also canceled. However, I shouldn't really say canceled. It's actually more so rescheduled and perhaps repurposed. So we're trying to figure out a way in which maybe we could do like drive-through confessions of some sort. We're trying to work out those details, and also obviously the weather would need to cooperate for us to do that. So we're trying to so we're still working on that. So more information will be forthcoming about that. And if you are in the need of the Sacrament of Reconciliation, obviously Father Sean and I are still willing to meet you privately and do that. And the way to make that happen is you can email either of us. So if you want to, you can email either of us or both of us, however it works. But you can email Father Sean at fr.wilson@petersburgparishes.org, or you can email me, Father Jared, at fr.kohn@petersburgparishes.org. And Kohn spelled K-O-H-N, just in case you didn't know that. And then also, as a note, in order to comply with this, so you know that people aren't going out from their homes more than they need to for non-essential things, all of our parish churches will be locked and closed during the shelter-in-place order, stay-at-home order, I guess I should call it. And then also in compliance with that, along the same lines, the Petersburg Parish offices will be closed from March 24th to April 6th. However, if you do need to get a hold of us, just call the parish office. If you know the person extension that you're trying to reach, don't type in their extension because we won't be here. However, if you just leave it on the parish's general inbox, voicemail box, Bobby, our secretary, will be checking that regularly, and she will forward those messages to us respectively. So just as a note about that. And then also people have had kind of some questions about how contributions can be handled and how they can still make that happen, because, like things like yesterday's live stream Mass over Facebook, like Leo Monday and Adam Fonke put in effort for that. And, there's a number of other things that a lot of our staff's trying to do to make sure that not only do the doors just stay open in our parish, but also to take advantage of this time to reach out to more and more people. So I just want to encourage you to give in any way you can if you want to know how to do that. Contributions can be mailed to either here at the parish offices in Walpock at 309 Perry Street, Walpole, Connecticut 45895, or you can also mail your contributions to the P.O. Box 519 in Botkins as well, so Botkins, Ohio. So that P.O. Box is in Botkins, just as a note. And then also, you can set up bill pay or iPay. It's called different things depending on your bank, but you can also set that up with your individual bank. And we should also have something called Get Plus, which is kind of an app or just a program that would allow you to get more easily. We're currently trying to set that up. It isn't set up yet, but that's forthcoming, so stay tuned for more about that. And then also, just as a final note about our Sunday Masses, so that'll be, as a reminder, every week at 9 to 10:30 a.m. And in order to keep that, in order to ensure that continues to happen, we'll also have a link on the parish website that'll take you right to the Facebook live feed. So if you don't have Facebook, you should still be able to access it, I believe. Did I get everything? Yeah, I think. At least you didn't mess up everything. Well, with that, from Father Jared and Father Jared, I hope you all have a blessed day and know of my prayers for each and every one of you. And we'll see you soon. God bless.